Come over this way.
Come over and say, Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween! It's worth fighting it. Happy Halloween!
What are you making?
Oh,
You go out on the porch here and do it.
one circle.
Let's go do it out here, James.
Did you like it?
Yes. No, Mommy, help me.
They're going to Carter to get Marianne.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Come see Dad. Come tell me where you went.
I tried to push that one.
I got your card, Marianne. Look. What do you got there, James?
I climbed that little mountain thing. And then
Hey, film over there. Yeah, I'm coming, honey. How was the bike ride?
Hold on to here.
Okay, do your dance now.
Oh, Denny, it's time for us to do our dance.
Come on, Marianne.
Da 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 da.
I don't know. I think it was better when they left it more to your imagination.
Way to go, Dan.
Mark.
So she can't go too high. She got up
This
there quite a
doesn't
ways.
bother me, not like that moral rocket.
Oh, this doesn't bother me either, and I'm quite scared of heights. But this
Ah.
is one thing that yeah, I could probably make this hot, right? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't bother, Tom. Yeah. You like this rat? Are you having fun with them?
Phil doesn't have any fun here.
Where?
In those round ones?
Hey, look at this. I found a rock that looks like Mickey Mouse.
How you doing? Give that to
And
Cliff on
it kind of looks like the flying saucer that abducted us last night on our way up there.
We can't get away from Disneyland, can we? Yeah. It
Yeah,
follows us
Cliff
here.
on Cheers.
Yeah, Cliff on Cheers. This? Or else, hey, you could go on
Where'd you find that?
Fernwood tonight. Yeah. And say, I'll play rock. Some of the people are down there.
Yeah, that's funny.
Marianne, stay down here. Judy kidnapped Martin Wall.
Yeah, I'm just watching it.
Where did you guys go?
To look for rocks.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
And what did you find?
And we went to roll them down the steep hill down there.
Did you find something, Nathan?
Yeah.
And how about you, Marianne? What did you show me?
I saw in my watch.
Oh, in the rocks, yeah.
This is what someone don't do. See, Papa, don't you float, don't you? See a knife on this.
What do you got there, guys?
We're just trying to fill this hole in. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Look through here, Dave.
No access.
Maybe it is. No, yeah, take her that way. Take it that way.
But it's the right shape.
Might be one here.
Dad, I found another one on the other side of that.
Here, let me get Marianne. It's real easy. Go, let me get Marianne.
Yeah, just go around this way.
Can you get by okay, Philip? Okay, I got you. Stand right there. Go ahead.
Hey, it's a two-story house. What?
Ryan?
Two-story house. This is a two-story house. This is one. Oh, look at this. Yeah, that's my bed right there. This is mine. I got up here. It's mine. No, it's my bed. Get out of here. Mine. I got up here first. Shut up. Get out of here. I'm up here.
Daddy, get back to the hole. Just stick your head out.
This is mine.
Hey, James, here's one right here for you. James, here's a good one right over here.
Look at this neat house.
You take this one. Look, it has a nice bench. Yeah, it's got a bench. It has furniture. It's got little witches in there. I don't know, Grandma built up her story, not mine.
Grandma's can say things like that.
Okay.
Cool. This is awesome.
Say something.
Hi, Lisa. Hello. This is my house right here. And I'll show you where my room is. Okay. This is my room. Right here. See? I sleep here, I eat here, and I just live here. It's my house.
That's great.
Oh, great guru. What is the meaning of life?
Hey, you've got a television. Go home and watch Donahue.
Craig, how did you get up there?
I climbed.
Where?
I went up this way here.
Do you know where Matt is?
Raise up and face the world. Look.
Up on the top of it?
Oh, there.
Too much effort.
Up on the top or something.
Well, maybe this is your best side, huh?
Well, that's my best side.
Oh, I wonder what's over there.
Yeah, it's in the wind.
I don't know. I found the cement.
Eat.
Well, what's tomorrow?
Christmas. Santa Claus. I better do finger exercises for presents. Presents and stuffing. Great.
Hi.
Ow! Today's New Year's Eve and
New Year's Eve?
everybody's
Christmas Eve, huh?
Christmas Eve, sorry. And
Okay.
everybody's coming out to come to our house and eat dinner. Santa Claus is coming
Okay,
tonight.
let's not throw that ball in there.
What's going on? And all the kids are eating here and all the adults are eating upstairs.
Some old rot.
What are you doing, Ryan? I mean, Nate?
What kind of tree?
You doing?
And you're supposed to put help bag.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever it is.
Right here, right here. Hey, I got a yellow too. What is it? What'd you get?
What'd you get for him? Huh?
Oh,
Oh, here, Nathan.
okay. Come on.
One.
There's pigs on. Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Grandma.
Grandma.
Way to go, Mike.
I was little. Yeah. Good enough.
We got 3 home runs this inning.
Yeah, you can stand on that side.
No. Not quite.
Come on, Doris. Almost.
Strike
All
one.
right.
Foul?
Strike two.
No. Foul.
Strike
Oh,
one.
come on, Ryan. Oh.
Oh.
We've got a presentation for you today, so stay here and don't go away. Yo, we're Amanda Shurtliff and Lisa Chanel. Listen up, we got a story to tell. We're station sisters and we can't be beat. We were one dancing on our feet. Yeah. Was that good or was that good? Get it? Got it? Good. Let's show them what we're made out of. Now listen. With Station Sisters and we're #1, our reputation has just begun. If you see us, step aside. These fine babes don't take no jive. Ooh, she thinks she's bad. Correction, I know I'm bad. Ooh, she thinks she's fine enough to blow your mind. Ooh, she thinks she's cool enough to stomp on you. We got time for one more, so let's get rapping on the floor. Sorry, but we gotta go. We aren't sunny and we aren't snow. We're chocolate and vanilla. Yeah.
Section on the left side of the floor, the LPGA. Judges ready for lane 2 will be the Congo Kitties, juvenile small pearls.
Is that the flowers? Nate?
On a log.
Well, I'm driving and exploring.
You didn't make the right turn, huh?
Well, I was up at the top of the tree and now I'm driving back down.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
You can take your girls over there.
Oh yeah, get the girls. Zoom in on the girls.
Okay, gals, come up and move around so we can get some movies of you.
Yeah, maybe you should walk on that route over there. Go down a little bit and...
Want me to do a cartwheel?
Oh yeah,
Little dance up.
do a cartwheel.
Maybe I'll back off a little.
Yeah. Well, we're leaving you.
Bye.
Bye. We'll come back and pick you up tonight.
After the bear has eaten you.
You know, as a kid, I think I could have played on the log all day, though. We used to find something like that to play on.
I can remember, I don't know if it was Yosemite or here, but I can remember walking on that and just thinking that was the neatest thing. Not this, but, you know, a big log like that. So, yeah.
And
You have a ball.
Yeah, you little tan. Which we always do.
Over here! Look what I got! No, a baby tree.
Mandy.
Hey, stand on it while the car comes.
Well, actually, I learned that. The Boy Scouts, but I think the tour guide did too.
Are we going?
What are you doing, Mandy?
Having my initials in this bench.
But Jennifer did it too.
Oh, this
When she comes to your dad from something maybe. But there's some many.
You must have spent a lot of time
Mandy?
driving.
You have a sharp nose.
What is she eating?
Zacznę od Dawida kamerę za parę dni i spróbujmy nawet w domu troszkę porobić filmów, dobrze? Zobaczymy, jak to wygląda. Tutaj jest coś...
That thing about you. Rick, way to go.
Get the camera. Can you get the camera out and look at it?
I don't believe it. There's one sitting on my arm. I'm not going to go, hello. That's right.
Come on, Ryan, let's go.
I would never recommend it to anybody. It was okay. Yeah. Almost like
The other end, I think that was the door.
But by the end of the book, they didn't seem like little boys to me.
See, that's our house. That's where we live. And right there is our window. Then way up there is our sunroom. And right back here we store our little food.
What?
I don't think that's the largest living thing in the world. It doesn't look very big.
It doesn't? What are you comparing it to?
Keep going.
Some skills or something.
She says she wants to be a ranger.
Good for her. Good for her. Unfortunately, you don't get to do fish faces as part of your job, at least in this park.
Is it Humboldt that has the school?
Humboldt, a lot of schools do, but there's none. That doesn't really have a lot to do with.
Yeah, maybe make it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to... No humming or anything.
What did you catch? Take it back.
I take it back.
Yeah, take it for a few minutes and then shut it down and take it from the other side and get it to you.
Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's right. We gotta remember that the game is an
Until
Until
this
very
part.
good.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
Yeah.
Kind of helps keep you awake though.
Okay.
Yeah, on that ride home.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Get some from over here. No, on your bed over there.
2, 3, 6, 7, 8.
Boy. Way to go, Jenny.
9.
Be a 10.
Oh, excuse me. 10. Jack.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Queen.
Boy, look at them go. See, I told you they'd win this one.
And then I'll put this down.
Okay. 1,
All right.
2, 3.
Okay, Mandy.
That's enough.
This will be good, then I can sleep after a meal instead of doctor always having to do it. Oh, wonderful. Potatoes. Okay, what chips do you want?
Nathan, did you want these? You know these like tofu?
Soybean.
Oh, soybean.
Hi, Rye.
You're on camera.
You are on camera.
Tofu beans. I don't. Soybeans. You're on camera. Who likes tomatoes?
They are fancy, aren't they?
I like mini.
Are those for Christmas?
Don't eat it.
Who likes mini wheats?
There we are.
Dad.
Want some of this in it?
I will.
Boy, watch out, it's the cameraman. Terry mutes them.
So, we saw a thing on Maury Povich today. Seems like a pretty good deal.
Oh, I saw that. Thank you.
There's your present.
Oh, boy, you get another present.
She's right out. I don't know.
Security for tomorrow, Marianne.
She loves it. You keep it in there.
Dad, what do you got? Oh, do that one. That looks cool.
Oh, I had fun doing that.
Oh, look! A Waldo doll. How neat! All right.
Oh,
the dog.
it's oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
Wow, Nathan.
Oh, I'm glad you got that.
Are those for spans or something?
They have a girl one, and I
Look at wild wolf. Yeah, right. Wild wolf.
Yeah, I had to get that because you are a wild wolf.
Oh my gosh. I need to get all my money.
You gotta follow. You just called her Ines?
I know it.
You gotta follow directions, Tom. Huh?
You don't really need the scissors.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. Direction.
It's hard to figure out different ways every year.
Gosh. Oh, look! That is weird. How strange. How weird. Look at that. That is weird.
Dad did it at work.
You're kidding. That is weird. Wow. Well, don't pull it
Come up
off.
with doing, thinking,
What is that?
wear it around my neck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, no one takes my money.
Like the money
I'm gonna
belt.
go get my watch. Look at all these days. Everyone sit down.
Hey, everybody sit down. These
No.
Mary Ann's
I gotta
open
put mine where
hers.
you won't sniff it.
Mary Ann wants you to look at her.
Look at her. Look at what she has. Yeah. Oh, and she got.
She knows what it is.
Oh, those are Viewmaster.
It's like a camera thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's cartoons.
Here,
Wait a minute, let
Here, watch
Marianne
cartoons.
open it first.
Oh.
Let's have her open it, because she needs to see what it
Bambi one.
does.
Here's Bambi one.
Help her to see what it does, Philip.
Okay, I'll show her.
To the ceiling.
Up to the.
Here.
Can you see the pictures?
Let me get it in
No.
for you, okay?
I'm gonna open this next.
I think it's right in.
Is that for you?
Oh my gosh. Tail like insects. Oh. Your turn, Phil. Alright. Alright.
That's kind of all kinds of interesting pictures in it.
Something O'Reilly. Yes.
Right. Oh.
Oh, that's...
Okay, my friend has big one.
Oh,
Same one. Here's the batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the batteries to this.
Oh, I should have known. Ooh, how fun.
This comes at
Yeah? Don't you think you'll have fun with that?
Oh,
See, she doesn't have any makeup yet though.
She's got earrings and jewelry.
She's got all kinds of things to put in there now.
Yeah.
You can open them if you want.
We got a little, you girls coming today. Kirsty Scoot. She's so cute. No, oh yeah, that's right. You have pants. Huh? Yeah. But let's take go on the front.
Oh yeah, that, you got them on back.
Yeah,
There's a little Dalmatian dog on the front.
Is it on?
Yeah.
This is Mom's new painting.
It's
vicious.
Yeah.
Dalmatian suitcase. I want to see it in... Open those presents. I will. She will, boy. That is really neat. She will love that.
Right.
Just close her now.
It's so cute. I love that.
Yeah. Barbie clothes.
Okay.
Now, is it still recording?
Mommy.
Yeah.
Okay, then turn it off.
No one's next and incredibly quick as gets done for the school bang sound happens.
No. Marianne, give it to Kirsty, Stephanie. No, you.
You can ask any Tom, Dick.
No, you take it. Oh, no. Marin. No,
Hi, Marianne.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready. Here it goes.
We don't know. Yeah.
As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidated.
No, you take it out. No, you take it. No, out. No, you take it. Whose is this? The pink one. Not mine. This yours?
Oh, it's recording.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get off right there. What is that? Not hard for me.
Ooh.
Pretty, it's critter. Oh, neat, Marina. You can make little animals out of it. How fun. You say thank you? Thank you, Stephanie. Who's next? Oh, Kirsty. I'll put this one over here. Someone could take these. All right, open it up, okay, Marianne? Ooh, that's beautiful. I can put this in my hand, Mom. It's beautiful. Pretty. I can decorate Lucky with the extra bows. With a big messy head of those fall off him. It's really sticky. Ooh, what is that? It's gonna be close. Don't call it. I think it's good. Maybe. We'll see. Ooh, pretty. I knew it was close. Look at Marianne.
Oh, how cute.
Dalmatian. Hey. Careful, Marianne. Who's this from? Melanie? Yeah, Melanie. Hooray. You're 5. This Disney gang all say hello and happy birthday too. Here's hoping birthday number 5 is lots of fun for you. Happy birthday, lots of fun. Love, Melanie. How nice. Whoa! Ooh, big bow. Huh?
Look at that cute paper.
I could believe it. This is the front. But it's pink. That's a pink. It's pink and mocha, but yeah. We just got pink.
And pink. Oh,
Wow. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marianne. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah, let's take them out. You want to move back so she can.
Not the whole face. Move, Marianne. Yeah, I like the ew. I mean, I like move. I'll show the videotape it. Right there.
3 times, okay? Okay. Watch out, Lisa.
Okay. Whoa.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Now
That's it.
turn. 1, 2, 3.
Don't fit.
1. Yeah. It's close to time to go. Boy, one more good one here.
Oh, really bad.
Wow. Here.
Stand back. More good wax.
Okay, that might
Whoa. Wow.
Let Stephanie hit it again.
One more. 3. You'll get it. Really hard.
I know, well, she's going to finish it here for us.
Really hard.
Poor dog.
One more.
Okay, I think you did
All right, let
it.
me hit it. Let me just finish it off.
Everybody gets a bag of candy and goodies. One bag for dinner. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets one. Except for, wait, Marianne? Look at these. Look at the milk bones. Those are peanut butter.
James! Look at the catch, just you and me, okay? Let's be other guys get the ball. You ready? James?
You're kidding me.
James! Aim it right to the wheel. Come on, get out of the second. All right, no problem. Okay, guys. Get him right on. All right, get it back. Wake up, fellas. Come on. It's going to come to you. Go up the mat. Now you got to touch it, okay?
Wait, you have to with that helmet.
Come on, now. Go. Get it back here. All right.
No waiting. Is anybody
Hey,
he's our first dinner in our den. He's kind of Susan and my assistant. He takes charge of the boys and does the flag salute, calls somebody for the prayer and stuff like that. So we're very proud of him.
Can't see it.
No.
Very good. Good job. Now you can take this off and get a little bit tiny to turn you over. Such a friendly living family.
Okay, we're going to do the light picture.
You can erase that.
Okay, everybody up. Buzz, well, you make the sign of the light.
I'm taking a picture now.
Okay, let's see what is Okay, Philip has earned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more activity badges. Can you tell us what activity badges they are? Do you remember? What's this one? Say it real loud. And he's also earned 2 points for his compass. That means he's got to have a total of 7, 8, 9, 15 badges. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 badges. Oh, wait, you got 17 badges. So he's done a lot of work. So you'll put these compass points you wear in your watch. 2 of the compass points. These on your floor. Present that to your parents. And shake dad's hand and give your mother the appropriate. Okay, we're going to get the wind shear before you sit down. I don't know if we did the wind shear. The wind shear goes like this. We do that one up front, didn't we? Okay, everybody stand up.
I'll see now. I'll see.
Let's give Philip the wind shear. Everybody ready?
Hope means we look forward for the things of tomorrow. But at the same time, we work hard today. We work hard today to make those things happen tomorrow. And the greatest of these rays is the 7th ray. The 7th ray is what holds all the other 6 together. That 7th ray is love. There are many different kinds of love. There's love of family. Okay, Philip. Step off. And step back. Will the parents please come forward? Philip, when you were in Cub Scouting and you started off, you could have fallen into the waters many times. But instead you had your parents to help you across that bridge. So the parents stand next to him and allow him to hold you when he goes across. Okay, Philip, you want to come on back, please? Or the parents come to this side, too. You take it one more. The point of that is you couldn't have done it without your parents. When you go into scouting, the same thing is going to happen. You can't do it without your parents. You'll need your parents' support.
Okay. Okay.
to offer. And the very best of them, of course, are very true to their own specific media.
But what does that mean, though, that say paintings, for example, what do they have to offer to the director?
Energy, dynamics, composition, storytelling, color, light, movement, an amazing number of things. An emotional impact, ultimately, is what you're after. And they have discipline, style, logic that is consistent. Any great work of art, to me, has its own world and its own logic and discipline. And if it remains true to that, even if the viewer doesn't understand it, he feels that truth. He can trust that experience, even if it's beyond his knowledge.
Do you consider films works of art?
Yes, I do. And I think we're only starting to scratch the surface of where they can go.
I've enjoyed it, Fred. Thank you for coming by.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Fred Skepsey. Night Watch continues. Back in a moment.
All right, one for Disney World.
It's the Money Store's great holiday vacation giveaway. Choose from 10 fabulous resorts. Get a certificate good for 4 days and 3 nights, free with every second mortgage loan. The certificates also make a great gift and are good for all of 1989. We've got low fixed rates and quick approval if you qualify. For details, call 1-800-LOAN-YES.
In the beginning, man slept soundly until he was rudely awakened. Later, he invented gadgets, which proved ineffective. At last, there is hope. Call 976-WAKE now from any touch-tone phone to make sure you get up on time. Call 976-9253 when you have to get up and get going. Start your morning off right. 976-WAKE, $2 per call plus possible toll. Calls returned anywhere in California.
It's just in time for the holidays. The Furnishings 2000 No Money Miracle. Just pick it out. Any furniture you want. Living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, bedding, and more. And make no down payment. No monthly payment. No finance charges. Do not pay until April of '89. And sale prices in every department store wide. Take this super spacious recliner with deep sink and comfort. Sale price just $2.99. Or the 3-way wall-away space-saving recliner. Sale price $2.99. It's the No Money Miracle. Hurry to the Furnishings 2000 nearest you.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, I know. I've made lots of good friends on the rap line.
Rap line? Hey, I called and I met this woman who's really into cars. Yeah, well, I call the rap line all the time. And last week, I met this lady who's an absolute computer whiz.
Oh, it's great. We get together and do things all the time. Last Friday, we went to the movies.
Sounds great. Sounds like you do a lot of great things.
Oh, yeah. We went and saw the Jazz Festival.
Want to rap, talk, or chat? Call the line that puts you in touch with interesting people. 976-7070. $2 plus toll of any.
Still to come on Night Watch, accepting new cultures into the American way of life. Go east, young entrepreneurs, go east. And Benazir Bhutto, as she prepared for the race. Now in Washington, here is CBS News correspondent Charlie Rose.
We have heard a lot about how foreign interests, especially from Japan, are buying up America. We've also heard a lot about the decline in American industry and business, and in the eyes of many, it all adds up to a feeling that we're quickly becoming a has-been as a world economic power. But according to some, we are really on the threshold of something big. Joel Kotkin's new book is The Third Century, America's Resurgence in the Asian Era. In it, he envisions the United States as a world nation that draws its economic vitality from the East. Joel Kotkin is the West Coast editor for Inc. magazine, and he is the co-author of The Third Century. Welcome.
Nice to be here.
It's good to have you back. We were on a broadcast when we talked about California.
Right.
Interesting thing that I ought to point out, I guess, before we start, it is not just the Japan. interests that are buying up a lot of the assets of the United States as well as our securities. I guess principally Britain, as others have pointed out, as well as the Dutch have bought up a lot of interest in the United States.
But the interesting part of it, and what is a little bit frightening, is that people concentrate on Japan, even though Japan is third or fourth of the investors, but you don't see anyone running down Pennsylvania Avenue screaming, the British are coming.
The British are coming, the British are coming. Why is that?
I think there's a certain amount of race feeling, the hostility towards people who are very different. And some of it is because Japan is a major economic power in many other ways, so it seems a little bit more of a threat. But if you put the European community together, its economy plus the investment that the Europeans are making in this country, it's far in excess of what the Japanese are doing.
Why are they all investing in the United States?
Well, that's one of the major questions we talk about in the book. One of the things that's happening is the United States is still the best place to invest in the world. It's got the most secure political system. We have lots of land. We have immigrants. Our population is growing more rapidly than any advanced industrial country. And we have a very strong entrepreneurial culture, which does allow for higher returns on investment. And that's why, whether you're British or Japanese or from the Middle East, you're going to invest in America.
And so they're doing that. You also, though, suggest in the 3rd century that the United States is going to find new markets in Japan and in the Pacific, and that will lead to what?
Well, I think basically what American business has to understand is where are the growth markets of the future going to be, or of the present. The fastest growing markets for American products from 1983 to 87 were Taiwan and the People's Republic of China.
They were the big purchasers? In terms of acceleration of change.
Right, of growth of buying American products. These economies are just opening up. By the 1990s, we will be selling, well, right now we sell more products to Taiwan than we do to Italy, which very few people know. By the 1990s, Korea and Taiwan will be buying more American products than probably any European country with the possible exception of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. So rather than viewing them as a place that manufactures products to sell to the United States, we should view them as consumers and therefore use that as an incentive to develop more of a producing capacity in the United States.
Exactly. And fortunately, some of that is happening with the lower dollar. We can only manufacture and produce our way out of this problem that we have. And that's one of the key points of the 3rd century is let's get back to basics, to the blocking and tackling of making products and selling them. And it's beginning to happen when you have a company like Matsushita, which is known as Panasonic mostly in this country, buying computers from Sun Microsystems to sell in Japan and buying Tandy computers to sell in this country. We know something has changed.
Yeah. What's stunning about that is Sun Microsystems is a company that's not more than, what, 5 years old?
Right.
I mean, this is a group of kids, people that are less than 35 who built this incredible company. What kinds of products are they buying, these consumers, other than, say, technology?
Okay, well, one of the big things that they've been buying is they've been buying a lot of products like LA Gear sneakers, one of the fastest growing markets is Japan. Entertainment products. MCA, for instance, is building an amusement park in Japan like Universal Studios tours. Entertainment is a big, big market. Cosmetics. There was a company in California, a little company started with $10,000 called BPI. This company is selling over $1 million worth of products to Korea and Japan. What does it sell? Cosmetics with a California colors line. And you should hear the Korean salesman try to sing, well, why does this want to happen? He sings, well, they all want to be California girls. And if you ever heard that sung in a Korean accent, you know that America's culture has some international appeal.
What about fast foods and pizza and those kinds of products that are in jeans that are uniquely sort of thought of as American cultural icons?
Well, the largest McDonald's in the world is in Tokyo. At least it was a couple of years ago. And a funny story, which I think really reveals the power of this and the dominance of America in certain areas, is a Japanese businessman came to the United States with his family, and the first time the kid had been to the U.S., and he saw all these McDonald's and said, Daddy, they have McDonald's here too.
That's a great story. Anything that could stop us from becoming a producer for this market, and who says that the United States is better geared to manufacture for these markets? Because the other thing that's happening is that the Japanese now are not just selling to Americans, they have begun in a major way to sell their products at home. So those companies that have made millions and billions penetrating the American market are also becoming competitors with American companies in reaching this new and burgeoning market.
That's true, but the problem for Japan is that its cost structure is out of control. I'll give you one illustration. The real estate prices of Tokyo are more than the entire United States. The Tokyo stock...
Say that again?
In other words, if you added up the property values of Tokyo, they would be bigger than the property values of the entire United States. So you can imagine the burden on a business person trying to do business there. Their electricity costs are much higher. That's why their aluminum industry has been going out. I mean, Japan is beginning to do now what America did in the 60s and 70s, which is go offshore to find cheaper costs. And right now, Japan cannot manufacture many products at a lower cost than they can be manufactured in other places. And as Japanese production methods are also transferred to other countries, the quality also goes up.
Paul Kennedy and others wrote a lot of books, as you know, about the decline of America.
Right.
You think he and others are wrong in making that prediction?
Well, they'll be right if we don't get our act together. But if we get our act together, I think they don't understand the tremendous strengths of this country, the immigration, the entrepreneurship, the large landmass, which is very different than, let's say, an England, which really had a much more severe problem because it depended on an overseas empire. When the overseas empire went, that was the end for
Getting
Britain.
our act together means what?
Well, one of the things is we have to rethink our geopolitical strategy.
Well, what does that mean?
In other words, we have been putting much too much money into the defense of Europe, which is eating up most of our defense dollars. And really, since most of our trade now is with Asia, Canada, and Mexico, we should balance our military commitments to where our economic interests are. That would be one thing.
So withdraw from Europe in part.
In part.
And do what? And apply that military appropriation to the Pacific Basin?
No, to building up the American infrastructure, education, making us a more competitive country, understanding that it is economic strength that is the fundamental of national security, which is what Kennedy said and was correct in saying. But what I don't think Kennedy understands is what are the assets
Paul
America,
Kennedy.
Right. Yeah. What the assets America has to offer and how we can leverage those assets to have a resurgence.
Okay, one is we look at the geopolitical realities and we say our commitment as Europe is not necessary and make them impose a kind of burden sharing on Europe. And so therefore we can apply those funds with a reduced defense budget to building up the infrastructure of the United States. What else to get our act together?
Okay, one of the things we have to change our racial attitudes. We have to understand that in the 3rd century, America will not be a European country anymore. And the first chapter of the book is post-European America. By the early 21st century, 30% of our population will be black, Hispanic, or Asian. By the end of the 3rd century, a majority will be, at least in part, black, Hispanic, or Asian. America is not the America of Norman Rockwell or Ronald Reagan in Tampico, Illinois. It is a very different country, and we are becoming a world nation.
So what you are saying the United States has to change its racial attitudes with respect to the people who who compose the growing majority in the United States.
That, and also in terms of relating to the rest of the world, we have to understand that the future of the world belongs predominantly to non-Europeans. 2 out of 3 people in the world in the 1990s will live in Asia. How can we make them not the priority? We have to build our links to those people.
But let me make sure when we come back what you mean by making them the priority, because clearly racial attitudes have not gotten in the way of buying VCRs and cameras and all the things that we purchase from the Japanese. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This incredible stereo sound system can be yours free from U.S. News and World Report. That's right, a free stereo. In a moment, you'll find out more.
Do you believe this stuff? Superman, he's 50. Who cares? And mad about Max. If I was a Newsweek subscriber, I'd be mad that Max is on the cover. I think if you're going to invest your time and money in a news magazine, you ought to be in a magazine that provides news you can use. Before the stock market crash, U.S. News told you it's time to get out. Then we gave you the best ways to invest your money, how to find and pay for the best colleges for your kids, the latest advice on eating right and staying healthy, and where you can find the best jobs for the future. All this plus how the important national and international news affects you. That's what U.S. News is about, and that's what differentiates us from this type of fluffy reporting. We think fluff is fine. It's what goes on your cake after you finish with the main course. We think U.S. News is the main course. I'll give you this personal guarantee. Take it home, drive it around the block, kick the tires. If you don't like it, send it back to me, and I'll give you your money back.
a money-back guarantee, special issues throughout the year. And if you call right now, you'll also get this exclusive stereo sound system absolutely free. This custom-engineered sound system features twin dynamic speakers for pure stereo sound, an AM/FM selector for precision tuning, an LCD quartz alarm clock, a built-in nightlight, and a snooze bar. And it's yours free with your paid subscription. Call now, and you'll also get great savings, over 60% off the cover price. That's just 77 cents an issue for 31 weekly issues. You can even pay in 4 easy installments of just $5.99, or use your MasterCard or Visa. A great magazine, special issues, great savings, and the stereo is yours free. All great reasons for you to call now. 1-800-228-1600.
Joel Cockins says his book, which he is a co-author, is The Third Century, in which he lays out a kind of what would you characterize this as a...
It's really a vision of America's future.
A change in mindset to ensure America maintains its position in the next century.
Right, and also making the point that America has the capacity to have a resurgence, which we've sort of lost a lot of that confidence.
Change geopolitics, change racial attitudes, what else?
And I think we have to get back to the essentials of business. American business has been much too short-term oriented and much too willing to give up production to somebody else.
Everybody says that, Joel. I mean, I've heard that for 5 years and for 10 years. You know, when you talk about productivity or competitiveness, the first thing they say is we spend too little money on R&D, and everybody uses the example of the United States technology invented the VCR, and then the Japanese stole it, and then sold all the VCRs.
No, they didn't steal it.
Well, stole the idea, took the idea.
They paid money for it.
Sure, but they marketed it in a way that they became the principal beneficiary. Most VCRs are made by Japanese companies, right?
The vast majority. Well, quite a few of them now made in Korea. And there's some being made in Southern California for Hitachi.
My point is that when people use these kinds of exhibits to make a point, their point is the United States is short-sighted. What's it going to take to become longer viewed? I mean, there was an interesting story about Sony buying CBS Records. Right. And I guess the guy's name is Morita, who was the chairman of Sony. You know, he had like a 20-year plan when he looked at CBS Records, and it fit within a context of a very long view. Right. I don't know if